When I first started calisthenics at 14 years old, I was just a skinny kid doing push-ups and pull-ups, barely able to lift my own body weight. Fast forward 7 years, I've built top 1% strength, being able to do dips with 225 pounds, pull-ups with 150 pounds, and even muscle-ups with 66 pounds, as well as insanely high rep basics. And in the process of all of that, I was also able to build an insanely aesthetic physique through it. And it all came from specific calisthenics techniques that I'll show you in today's video to blow up your strength as well as your physique. Copy these and you'll be doing the same. Now, let's get into principle number one, because there's a lot of people that progressively overload, train consistently, and actually do the exercises that I'm doing, but they're not actually growing and they're not actually gaining strength. And that's because they kind of train all over the place. So that's mistake number one. But principle number one that you need to understand is that you need to train explosive. And this is for muscle growth and strength. If you train explosive, that means that your body is literally going to be putting every single piece of effort that is inside of it to pull or push itself up in a certain exercise. When you, for example, see me doing pull-ups, when it comes to my hypertrophy training or my strength training, as you can see, both of the variations, both of the styles of training, they are very different from each other. Like with the strength training, of course, I do faster reps. I'm just trying to get the weight up there. I'm not really trying to squeeze my muscles to the fullest potential. And with the hypertrophy style, I'm trying to control the movement. I'm trying to control the way my back feels. I'm trying to go up in a certain manner so that I feel my back, and also on the way down. It's the exact same thing. But in both scenarios, I train as explosive as I can. So this is for muscle growth and strength gain. And the thing is, if you want to become jacked with calisthenics, you're going to have to get stronger. Getting stronger is one of the most important things about calisthenics training and training in general if you want to look bigger and actually be bigger. So if you want the exact same system that I've used to gain strength and muscle at the same time and to be insanely aesthetic with the sport of calisthenics, then click the top link in the description, because this is my personal Jacked by Calisthenics blueprint program and community where you are literally going to be able to go from skinny to jacked and reach the results that you have been waiting for in 6 months time. So if you're serious about this journey and you actually want to go from skinny to jacked and you want to stop running around in circles, not knowing what to do, then click the top link in the description. Everything is laid out in there. So please understand, training explosive does not mean doing it as fast as you can. Training explosive basically means go as fast as you can with the heavy weight that you're doing on the way up. So it does not always mean also come down slowly. In some cases, if you just want to train strength, then going up as fast as you can and also down as fast as you can, totally fine. But I call that more explosive strength, right? For me, I'm able to do explosive pull-ups with 50 kg. I can do a lot of reps. I could do like 10 or 12 reps with 50 kg, which is like how many pounds? It's like 100 pounds. So I can do a lot of reps with that because I'm very explosive. If I would do hypertrophy style calisthenics, which is also a strength training style, but they just kind of treat the body differently, I would be able to do probably 4 or 5 reps because it's insanely hard to do a controlled and good form pull-up with 100 pounds going slow on the way down and explosive on the way up, but squeezing and staying arched. It's insanely difficult. Most people cannot even do 1 rep with that with 50 kg or 100 pounds. I can probably do about 1 to 4. That's it. That's why you first have to really identify what your goals are. So let's say you really want to get to a very good weighted pull-up number and you really want to get insanely strong. You want to get insanely strong. You don't really mind being too big right now, but you just want to get insanely jacked. Train as explosive as you can on the way up and the way down so that both of these movements are going to be used as efficient as possible so that you can keep repping it out, so that you can get your chin over the bar and get to that hang as soon as you can. Because if you waste a lot of time on 1 rep, the second rep is going to be tougher. Of course, in building your physique, that should be the purpose. The purpose should always be being able to make a rep as difficult as possible and maintaining that throughout the whole set. If you do that, you're going to gain insane amount of muscle. And that's obvious because your muscles are working harder. But if you don't do that, then you're leaning more towards the strength style of things, right? Which, in my opinion, you should get into. You should learn it. But the best way to learn it at first, especially if you're more on the beginner side, is to do pull-ups with more control. More control basically meaning being able to slow it down, being able to feel what you're actually doing and being able to progressively overload with that. Because with that comes strength. It's very simple, guys. If you focus on building muscle and you not only focus on building muscle, but you focus on building strength within the muscle building training routine that you're doing, both strength and muscle are going to just come to you if you stay consistent. You cannot just fall off and then, you know, train for like a week straight and go insanely hard and then 2 weeks not, and then jump around from routine to routine. You can't do that. You gotta stick to the thing that you have to stick to. If you do not do that, you're not going to see progress. Because here's the thing, the more you stick to a certain program or routine or exercise selection, the better you can progress with it. If you're not gonna be able to do that, I'm sorry, but the progression is gonna go slower. Of course you still see progression, because if you train hard in general every single day of the week without really having a strict routine, which is what I'm kind of doing right now. Right now I'm kind of searching what I like again. Of course you can still make progress. I'm still making progress because I mix a lot of things with each other. I'm trying to, you know, fill in new areas of my training so that I could get better at certain things, get better at teaching y'all things. But if you're a beginner and you're trying to get to a certain result and you have not reached your dream goal yet, then I'm sorry, you're gonna have to really find a routine and stick on it. Look at this member right here who has been training in my Jack by Calisthenics blueprint for like, I think 2 or 3 months now. He has been sticking to a routine and every single week he is making reliable progress. And that is because of this reason. If you stick to it, you will see progress, but you have to stick to it and then make progress within it. And sometimes this gets boring. A lot of the times what I see with other people who are very like on the beginner side of things, they start getting into a routine, but it's so damn boring because they're doing it every single damn day and then they're falling off within 2 months. That's not what you want to do. That's why you want to focus and have fun within the progression of the routine and not the routine itself. If you're trying to find fun within the routine itself, so let's say you have pull-ups, push-ups, and dips, and those 3 exercises you constantly switch up and you constantly trying to find accessory exercises to be better in those. I understand, it's a good mindset to have, but if you really want to get better at it, then the best way to go about it is by literally just sticking to what you've been said, sticking to whatever you need to do, sticking to whatever you have set for yourself, and just sticking to it and have fun within the progression instead of changing the thing that you should progress in. Very simple, but it's very important. Kind of went off a tangent right there, but the main goal that I want you to stick to is train as explosive as you can while controlling the movement so that you can get superhuman strength through that. Now, principle number 2 is mastering leverages and body weight progressions. You have to understand, calisthenics is a very progression-based sport. A lot of people, a lot of weightlifters, they like to believe that calisthenics is not really a progression-based sport because you only have a couple of exercises and you only can progress to like a certain amount. Weightlifting is like a real progression sport because you can add a lot of weights. You can never stop adding weight. Your limit is never going to be reached because that's insane to be able to reach that. I understand where it's coming from, but it's totally incorrect. And I'll actually argue calisthenics, you can actually progress with the sport better than with weightlifting. And the reason why that is because it is literally more limitless than weightlifting. In weightlifting, in the gym, let's say, you have a shit ton of things that you can do. And then you can have a bunch of variations with the things that you're doing. Totally understand. But with calisthenics, there is always a step in between another step. And in between that step, there's another one. And in between that one, there's another one. You can always shift things to the way that you really want it to be or that it's needed to be in order to progress with muscle gain, strength gain, explosiveness, whatever you want. That's why calisthenics, in my opinion, is the better option for you to choose. Now listen, you do not have to add reps and reps and reps all over again every single day to be able to gain muscle or strength. You can change leverages and make body weight progressions as hard as you physically can in order to build muscle with it. This is why I highly recommend everyone and all the members inside of my program who already been doing this to go from, for example, decline push-ups to a pike push-up, or to go from normal dips to extremely deep dips, or from extremely deep dips to extremely deep ring dips, or from ring pull-ups to wide grip ring pull-ups, or from normal push-ups to wide ring push-ups. Every single exercise can be changed in such a way that you're going to build more muscle, and through that, the strength is going to be increased. Guys, a lot of people, especially weightlifters, who are gonna maybe watch this video. I think there's like 2% weightlifters on there. Let's say those people, they watch this video and they assume whatever he's saying is wrong because if you're training for hypertrophy, you're not optimizing the strength potential. In my opinion, that's bullshit. And you know why that is? Why I believe that the people inside of my program, my method, what I do personally, what my online clients are doing, the reason why I think that they have the best routine possible for them and why they're actually gonna get get stronger than everyone else is because they're doing hypertrophy style training, yes, but they're doing exercises that are so physically demanding that whatever basic you're doing, let's say you decide to do bench press all of a sudden, they're already gonna have an above average bench press. Let's say they do normal weighted dips after they went from deep ring body weight dips. They're gonna have an above average weighted dip. And let's say they start to train that, bro, you're gonna be an advanced elite level athlete. I've been able to go from 0 muscle ups, 3 pull-ups, and 20 push-ups and 10 dips or whatever to 225-pound weighted dips for sets and 150-pound pull-ups and 30 kg or 66 pounds muscle ups. Do you understand? I was not able to do that if I just focused on trying to increase the strength. No, I increased everything. I made my progressions harder. I did more reps. I tried to change leverages, and through that, I got stronger and stronger and stronger. To be honest, bro, I had phases where I was focusing more on street lifting. So I was doing my weighted dip sessions and my weighted squat sessions, and I was adding overhead presses to, add on to more strength with the weighted dip, and I was doing some bench presses on the side to get my weighted dip stronger. Yes, it got my weighted dip stronger. Yes, I increased in strength. Yes, I got bigger in my chest. Yes, I got stronger. But my strength right now is increasing quicker, and I'm not even focused on that strength aspect. Why? Because I'm basically making my hypertrophy training more difficult. And because I'm making it more difficult, I'm basically saying to my body, yo, you need to change. You need to become stronger. Because every single time I'm adding something new into it. So my body needs to change. Please understand that if you go above 20 reps, you're not only building endurance. We got to stop believing in that shit. Yes, you're building more of that muscular endurance that's going to get added on. But it doesn't mean that you don't get muscle mass added on or that you don't get stronger from that. If you go from doing 10 push-ups to 20 push-ups in a set, yes, you're going to get stronger from that, my boy. It's obvious. If I do right now 800 dips in a set and then 800 push-ups or whatever, I will most likely not have like a direct carryover to weighted dip or whatever. But after a little while, it is going to make a change. You know why? Because my body is now more capable of handling more in general because I am adding more shit. And that is exactly why I think that my method is the best way to go about it. So inside of the blueprint, I break down every progression that you need to go to and every progression that you need to have to be able to go from skinny to jacked. If you have questions even inside of there, let them know. I have one-on-one calls every single week. We're still trying to find a perfect date for everybody to basically join the calls on, but you could literally just ask me whatever on those calls weekly. And from there, we're just basically going to be progressing every single week from there on. So if you want to join and you want to go from skinny to jacked within 6 months time, then click the top link in the description, join us right now, start working out with the program, and you're going to get jacked. Now let's go into principle number 3, the most important one. Rings equals strength. A lot of people believe that the more unstable an exercise is, that the worse it actually gets for muscle growth and strength. And the reason why they believe that is because in order to progress nicely in strength, you have to have something stable enough to progress. And I totally understand why they say that, and I totally understand where it's coming from. And they're right. Why do they think that rings are not stable enough? Because they shake, right? And they say, okay, it's not stable enough. But why do they think it? Why don't I think that? And they do. Why you behind the camera, who is already kind of experienced with rings for, let's say, does not agree with that advice? Because you have mastered it, right? Because you have progressed with it. If you progress with something that was very difficult for you and now it's not so difficult for you anymore, and you automatically say to other people who say rings are too unstable, you say, no, they're not. I can do push-ups fine on them because you learned it. So before you make that assumption, before you say, oh, the rings are too unstable, I need to go back to the bars, just learn it, bro. Literally hop on the rings, start working out with them, and start finding out how to actually control the movement, how to actually get stable on them. And the beautiful thing about this aspect is of instability and stability. The more you learn rings and the more you better up your form, it forces you to stay stable. If you have messed up form, messed up control, messed up speed and tempo, range of motion, whatever, on the rings, yes, it's gonna be very unstable. If I do 50 push-ups right now on the rings and I do them insanely quickly, I will probably shake a whole bunch because I don't have control, I don't have good form, I don't have good tempo. But if you control it on the way down and on the way up, and you focus on your chest contracting, and you focus on the rings, staying the rings still, and you focus on good quality reps, the rings will stabilize. It's not really that crazy. The more you focus on good quality, the more the rings will stabilize for you. You just have to learn how to do it. So the moment when you have been able to do that, then progressively overloading on rings is going to get you so insanely strong, it's unbelievable. Weighted dips on rings and weighted push-ups on rings and weighted pull-ups have been a staple of mine for the past half a year. And I have never seen that much strength increased in my life, ever. I was able to do 50 kg dips on the bars years ago, right? For like, let's say 8 reps. Right now, I'm able to do that on rings. I went back to the bars. Guess what? How much could I do? I could do more than 15 with the same weight. But because I practiced the rings and the stability was taken away from me and I had to learn how to stabilize myself, all of a sudden I got stronger on the bars because the rings increases strength quickly. Now I was going back to the bars and I could rep out 50 kg like it's nothing because I was practicing rings. Same thing when it comes to pull-ups. Doing stable pull-ups right now feels very nice and very easy because when the stability is taken away and it's tough to do some reps now all of a sudden, they're going to increase the strength for the normal thing that you have been doing before. Now, these 3 principles are the most important if you want to actually gain superhuman strength and get very, very jacked in your early stages of training. Now, after a little while, things are going to change up a bit. That's why I have everything prepared for you in the blueprint Jacked by Calisthenics. If you click the top link in the description, I will be able to help you throughout the whole process of going from skinny to jacked, getting stronger, learning rings, getting into weighted calisthenics, to build muscle, to reach your dream physique, and to actually get stronger and also get lean. If you want that, if you actually are serious about this journey and you want to actually succeed, then click the top link in the description. I am there to help you and we're gonna make it happen. And as always, watch this video right here because in this video, I'm gonna be showing you the 12 laws of calisthenics to get jacked easily.